the unbogables, and I've gone ahead to see a tweet coming in through from one of the Arsenal fans that there is only one invisible. But we all know to it that Bayern Leverkusen was not really beaten last season in the league, and that makes them invisible. Not so invisible, that is it. So, but this was a friendly, and beating them 4-1 doesn't really mean a lot into what their season is really going to be like. If at all you a person who really knows what pre-season is all about, excitement should be huge for the people of Arsenal on how Arsenal have gone ahead obviously see the likes of you can talk about on how Arsenal is going to see the likes of Jesus, Havertz connect together with Trossard, because the goals they've gone ahead to score have been really through a team play. Jesus, you saw to it that he scored a solo effort, but you cannot really forget what he went ahead to put out into the mix when he went ahead obviously put in a very good shift into the second goal that Arsenal went ahead to obviously do the needful. And the runs he made were really very good, that gave Arsenal a lot of chances and space, and other players in Arsenal to obviously come in through and really operate to the fullest. So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I know you are eagerly waiting for my submission, but before we go into my submission, allow me bring you the company that is behind the video, known as Mono Gadgets. Mono Gadgets are dealers in phones, brand new laptops and brand new phones. You can also order used phones and used laptops from UK, and they will obviously be to your service. That is it through coming from Mono Gadgets, and their number is +256 70 99 88 665. That's what we are getting in through from Mono Gadgets, and that's the number that you guys are supposed to be really hanging on to really get the best of the best from Mono Gadgets. And you can as well follow them on TikTok at Mono Gadgets, and they'll obviously showcase exactly what they are really good at in as far as selling you their merchandise is really concerned. But they're really good. Contact them. Now, we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. And let's obviously get up and running as you go into the live chat and obviously tell me what your thoughts are about this beautiful game of football. Arsenal have been 4-1 winners against Leverkusen, and it has been really something important that has going to obviously put Arsenal to a different state of business altogether, because it was one of the moments that you all had to understand that it had to go that way, right? And in the due course of it going that way, it really gives you a lot of vibes, and those vibes are really brought to you by the best in class, and that is the team of Arsenal. Mikel Arteta has been playing against Bayern Leverkusen, a team that really went ahead to shock very many teams last season, by the way, including Bayern Munich. But guess what? It has gone ahead obviously come into our know that Bayern Leverkusen has finally gone ahead to obviously be annihilated by Arsenal, and Arsenal went ahead to play some good football, and in just minutes this game of football was done, because Arsenal was dominating everything, especially into the first half. Arsenal dominated every Tom, Dick and Harry into that game of football. In the 8th minute, Zinchenko went ahead to score the first goal. In just 8 minutes, Arsenal had gone ahead to put themselves ahead, and Kai Havertz was responsible for that assist, and Zinchenko went ahead to score a very brilliant goal. That shot from the outside of the area, or the 18-yard box area, into the lower left bottom corner was really very, very very exquisite, that the goalkeeper cover couldn't obviously come in through, obviously stop it from really crossing the line, and that's how things went ahead to obviously end up not being in the favor for the team of Leverkusen. And we thought that maybe it was just a goal coming in through early, and they would have gone to organize themselves and obviously put in a very different situation altogether to stop the side of Arsenal from obviously destroying their party. But Leandro Trossard 1 minute later came in through and obviously put in a very beautiful ball, and I'm going to be explaining all these goals, right? Then Gabriel Jesus, 38th minute, obviously solo effort from the center, hitting it at the back of the net, and then Kai Havertz went ahead to score in the 65th minute to obviously give Arsenal a 4-goal lead. And then Adam Holzek went ahead to obviously capitalize onto that beautiful effort that was really brought him through by a side known as Bayern Leverkusen, and they really did a very good build-up. Now, let's talk about the goals, right? The first one, the way Zinchenko finds that line-breaking pass from the half of Arsenal to Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz was like, thank you very much, and Kai Havertz went ahead to do a cutback, and he was not really looking for Zinchenko. I think he was looking for either Jesus or Odegaard, but I think Odegaard or Jesus, who was in the vicinity of that ball, got to know to it that he couldn't obviously reach that ball and really skipped it, and it found Zinchenko, and Zinchenko hit it into the back of the net. And you have to give Zinchenko all the credit he really deserves, because he's this kind of person who has gone ahead to come in through and put in a very big shift. You understand? And that shift has gone ahead to obviously pay off, right? It has gone ahead to pay off, and I tell you what, it has gone ahead to obviously bring in what we call results that most of you have gone ahead to obviously find themselves really talk about and obviously understand how good they are when it comes to what we mean, when it comes obviously making it big and better into the mix. So into what we are doing right now, I tell you, Zinchenko deserves his flowers and props. Do you know why? He's the man who releases Kai Havertz, and he makes that diagonal run towards the D of the 18th box area of the opponent, anticipating a cross, and it really went ahead to obviously offer the best of the player. And I was like, oh my, Zinchenko has gone ahead obviously put in that we can't shift all together, and it really gave us vibes that we are really talking about even till about now. So for me, Zinchenko put up a show, and I was like, oh my god, he has gone ahead obviously exonerate maybe himself, because he's this kind of person who will obviously come up and obviously understand that he really does such stuff. He really does such stuff. But the run he made from the half of Arsenal after passing to Kai Havertz, it was diagonal and it was intended. And I tell you what, this is a training goal. I know most of you won't admit this, but why did Zinchenko run into that vicinity? That is the huge question that you should ask yourself. Zinchenko runs into that vicinity because he knows exactly that something is going to be happening. A cutback is obviously going to be happening outside the 18 yards box area. And I tell you, mark my words, next season, that is starting on the 17th for the club of Arsenal, you are going to see Arsenal scoring very many goals like this, or really having attempts at goal like these ones, like the one of Zinchenko that I was going to see him score that opening goal. It was a very beautiful goal, and I like the execution of Zinchenko. And to show you that it was a special goal, the celebration of Zinchenko spoke it all. You know, the celebrations of Zinchenko went ahead to speak it all, and nothing really went ahead to happen to stop him from doing the needful as a player in Zinchenko, right? So I'm here to obviously let you know that Zinchenko scored a beauty. It was a worldie for me, and it was really great. Now, for me, the second goal was really exquisite. Why? Leverkusen starts to build from behind, and Cover tries to pass a ball, and the defender he passed the ball to, I think it was Garcia, never controlled it and wanted to turn, and guess what happens? Leandro Trossard comes in through, and after coming in through, guess what Leandro Trossard did? Leandro Trossard found himself in a situation of really stealing that ball, and that was a press. That is a very huge tick for Leandro Trossard, and shows you why the manager's gone ahead to keep him on the field of play for a very long period of time possible, because of what he went ahead obviously orchestrate into the second goal that Arsenal went ahead obviously play, because he pressed Garcia, lost that ball. After losing that ball, he passes it to Odegaard. Odegaard passes it to Jesus, and Jesus passes it to Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz finds a Trossard. Trossard dummies a player. He goes into the ground and sends him back to Leverkusen, and then hits an empty net. You know, in the due course of really damming that player to go down, the goalkeeper was also sent the wrong way, And after sending him the wrong way, you know what happened? The net was empty, and Trossard went ahead to obviously score a very beautiful goal. And for me, that goal really was the best goal of it all. Why? It was a team effort. When you look at what happens after Trossard steals that ball, you know, after Trossard stole that ball through the press, you know, he did a quick pass to Odegaard. Odegaard did a quick pass to Jesus. Jesus did a quick pass to Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz did another quick pass to Trossard. You know, close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes, you know, before the goal really went in, right? And it was very, very nice to see. And I was like, oh my God, this is something that Arsenal's going to do. And it really looked great onto the side of Arsenal. I really loved the way Arsenal came in and obviously put in a shift that was really very nice. And I tell you, you might hate them or love them, but that front three has shown us that it is really very, very, very good. You know, especially Kai Havertz, Jesus, and Trossard. You see to it that their cohesion is really building up, and it's really giving Arsenal vibes of really coming in to destroy teams. And it's not only happening in the preseason, but they're obviously gonna try to come out and obviously score fast goals in the league because they want to kill games off. You know, this is how Arsenal ended its season. You know, they used to obviously score quick goals, and I told you the problem. I told you why it was like that and late to come, because Arsenal had added 2 players into the midfield. And to show you to it that Arteta wants to obviously strike with the same team, you see to it that he's having Kai Havertz into the midfield and then Jesus leading the line, and these two are really communicating very well, and that is the plan of Mikel Arteta. I know very many of you want Kai Havertz to lead the line like he did in, I think, the second half, but believe me not, he's really good, and even Jesus is really a man on fire. And I tell you, he has managed to score a very beautiful goal. That was the third one that really put in a very good show. And that break from the halfway of the pitch, and he really drove that ball with pace and skill, and he cut inside, and everyone was like, maybe he's really going to find himself shooting, right? He's going to find himself shooting. So he's going to find himself a pass for another player, you know, but he faked them, and he really shot that ball into the back of the net, and it was a very beautiful goal. It was a very, very beautiful goal for the guy known as Gabriel Jesus, and it was really good in making, and I really enjoyed it. And guys, it was really nice for me to watch that game of football. You know, Arsenal was really breaking through, and the fourth goal came in through from Kai Havertz. It's Nwaneri who releases Bukayo Saka. Saka runs to the byline, and then he puts in a cut-back cross. And I think he doesn't obviously find Kai Havertz. And it goes to the goalkeeper. And it deflects a certain defender. And as it deflects the defender, it finds Havertz in his vicinity. And Havertz taps that ball into the back of the net. And it shows you that Havertz is really turning into what we call a typical number 9, because those are goals that number 9 do score. Those are goals that number 9 do score. Number 9s really do score, and I really love this guy about him. And for Kai Havertz, he had an assist for the second goal. How many assists did Kai Havertz have? The first goal, I think he's one of those that really put in that cutback cross. The second one, I think it's him that really puts up that pass to Trossard. So he has shown us the level at which he's really unselfish. If you're looking in for a player who is really unselfish, then you have to obviously look not more than Kai Havertz. You get, he's unselfish, and that's why his integration into the team of Arsenal is really going to be very important, especially if at all he's playing to that midfield. Deep from the midfield, and you're having Jesus, you'll be having 2 players in Odegaard and Kai Havertz that can really kill off any opponent through their high-level brain thinking when they really have that ball. Those players are really deadly. They are deadly, they are dangerous, and they're really top-notch when it comes to really being press-resistant. And their finishing is really out of this world. You get? That is the man known as Kai Havertz for you. And he went ahead to score himself a goal, and he came out a very proud man. And I believe he's really one of those that you have to really admit and think that he's one of the signings that Arsenal has gone ahead to make that are really gonna mean a lot into their season. Because In the Euros, he was on fire. He has returned. He's on fire. Remember, in the US, he scored against Liverpool. And then he came in here to find himself scoring against Bayern Leverkusen. And what is more important is Kai Havertz scores this goal when he's really the number 9, when he's really leading the line. That is really very important of all. And it means that Arsenal is going to start off the season on a high. That is it. It's not going to be like last time when they needed obviously integrating a lot of players. And I told you that the new signings might even take long to obviously get into the starting 11 of Arsenal. I really understand, and I know why it's really going to be happening like that. Because every time you look at what Arsenal are really doing, you really anticipate the best of the best, right? You really anticipate the best of the best, and you really understand that it's not going to be an easy season for everyone who's going to be competing with Arsenal. You know, last season, Arsenal started on the low. This time, I tell you, they are starting on a high. They might even win all their 10 games. That is it. Because when you look at Man City, the team is really unsettled. They've gone ahead to lose Julian Alvarez, and they have to bring another striker to really settle in, you know. Ederson might be on his way out. Kevin De Bruyne might be on his way out. Liverpool is having a new manager. Manchester United all not set. Spurs are really lacking quality. Chelsea are really struggling to an extent that even went ahead to obviously lose. They went ahead to lose the game of football I think they played. Was it yesterday? You know, against Real Madrid. That is Chelsea for you. So Arsenal is really having a very huge age, and they are this kind of team that will obviously bring you the best of the best that you deserve into the making, and that is a side known as Arsenal for you. And I tell you what, it's really one of those moments that it's really one of those moments that you'll obviously have to look at and really understand that you cannot really underestimate a side called Arsenal when it's really going to be coming into the mix to play this game of football in here. So everyone who thinks Arsenal is a joke, you are really going to understand how good Arsenal is. You get? You are really going to understand how good Arsenal is when it really faces you. You get? Partey. Before I go into that, let me show you how Arsenal went ahead, obviously, put in this game, and it got summarized into the stats of the day, right? Arsenal in there. Arsenal, 9 shots for Arsenal, 7 shots for Bayern Leverkusen, 6 shots on target for Arsenal, 2 shots on target for Bayern Leverkusen, 44%. It's 44% ball possession by Arsenal. Leverkusen had 56% ball possession. Now, I can really explain to you why it really came in that way, that Arsenal couldn't obviously win the rest of really having having a lion's share of the possession, because they killed off the game early. And they are really calling in for Bayern Leverkusen to come up and obviously show up themselves into the mix. But Arsenal waited for them, and they never went ahead to showcase or to show themselves up. So that is really what happened into this beautiful encounter between Arsenal and the side of Bayern Leverkusen. So that's why Bayern had 56. But I tell you, first half, you all know to it that Arsenal had a lion's share of everything, because they really looked like a lion that is hungry and it had taken close here without eating, and they are like, this is the meat we are supposed to eat and we are supposed to go in for it all. The moment it really skips out of our reach, you know, we are gonna die of hunger. And Arsenal acted like that. 421 passes completed by Arsenal, 539 passes completed by Bayern Leverkusen, 84% passing accuracy by Arsenal, 88% passing accuracy by Bayern Leverkusen, 5 fouls by Arsenal, 8 fouls by Bayern Leverkusen, 0 yellow cards to Arsenal, and 1 yellow card to the side of Bayern Leverkusen, 0 red cards to to the side of Arsenal and Bayern Leverkusen, 0 offsides to Arsenal and 1 offside to Bayern Leverkusen, 4 corners to the side of Arsenal and 2 corners to the side of Bayern Leverkusen. That's how everything really went down at the Stadium of the Emirates, as Arsenal went ahead to obviously edge everything, and they found themselves really doing the needful, and nothing could obviously stop them from really becoming the winners of the day. And they've gone ahead to come out as the overall winners of the day, and that is really nice about them. They had 4 corners for Arsenal, and Bayern Leverkusen had 2 corners into the mix. So that's how Arsenal went ahead to edge the side of Bayern Leverkusen. And I tell you what, it looked like Bayern had not gone ahead to kickstart in very well. Frimpong, one of their main players, had not gone ahead to fit in very well. Grimaldo was out, and they really have one or two injuries in there for you. But almost that was the entire side of Bayern Leverkusen. But I think for them, they still have some time to obviously prepare themselves for the Bundesliga, because I think it's not starting in like the Premier League. You get, and they still have some days, and they still have 1 game to play. That is against Real Betis on the 10th of August, and on the 17th they're going to be playing into the DFL Super Cup final with FB Stuttgart, and obviously they will play Gladbach into the Bundesliga. Then they have to play in the first round of the DFB Pokal Cup. That is it. So I think this game of football that they're going to be playing against Real Betis is really going to put them into what we call a perfect shape of really coming in through to be that team that is really unbogable, and a team that can obviously get back to winning ways. Remember, they went ahead to obviously raise a lot of success last season by beating the likes of Bayern Munich, and they're really unbeaten in the season, and we don't know how they're really going to start off their unbeaten season into the mix. So we wait and see how that pans out. But Arsenal's going to obviously put out a very beautiful display, right? There are players that came off the bench that really went ahead to look good. Lewis really looked good. Lewis Kelly looked really good as a left back, and you have to give credit to Mikel Arteta for obviously getting that guy from the midfield and obviously put him into what we call the and went ahead to put him into the midfield. Sorry, on the left back position, because he's a midfielder. I've always gone ahead to know him as a midfielder, but Arteta's gonna hit obviously find him a better position to play into the midfield, right? Sorry, into the left back, and he took off Zinchenko and he played 45 minutes. Nwaneri also came in and really had a very beautiful goal, huge contribution into that goal that Arsenal scores to make it 4 for Arsenal in the second half. He releases Bukayo Saka, and Saka's cutback causes problems to that side of Bayern Leverkusen. Then Rice, he looked rusty, and we all understand that he has gone ahead to play this as his first game, so 45 minutes in, and I think in the next game over the weekend when they're playing against Lyon in the Emirates Cup, this guy is obviously going to come in through and obviously start right into that beautiful game of football that he will see Arsenal take on Lyon. Which other player is going to obviously impress me? Leandro Trossard. Guys, for me, Trossard and Kai Havertz have been something else in this game of football. And one of the players that is going to show me that he's really great and is really in great shape is Bukayo Saka. Have you noticed Saka and how he has gone ahead to play in the second half? Because he has gone ahead to play 45 minutes, right? But he looked sharp. Saka looked sharp. He looked very fit, meaning that as he was on the preseason, as he was on his holiday, he had been putting in some work, and he looked like he has been training with the club of Arsenal, and he had 45 minutes in, and he could obviously skip past all these players of Bayern Munich, Bayern Leverkusen easily, and he almost got himself a goal. And I tell you, in the second half, no player was fouled more than Bukayo Saka. He put up a very beautiful show, and I was like, Saka might be one of those players to obviously be into their lifetime form this season. And remember, he's 23 years of age, 2 years less to really hit his prime. That is it. And if at all it happens like that, then he needs obviously keep up that fire. But we wait and see how he's really going to be looking on all over the weekend as they take on Lyon into what we call the Emirates Cup. That's what I'm really hugely waiting in for, and see how Saka is really going to be looking. But he had a very beautiful game. Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, very solid, and very many others. And I'm going to come in through and obviously do the player ratings later into this video. But allow me, what have I talked about? Arsenal haven't gone ahead to keep a clean sheet. We all know why. They have not gone ahead to keep a clean sheet. They took off the best central defense in the world. You know, the best central defense partnership in the world was taken off. You understand? It was taken off, and after taking Gabriel Magalhaes off and William Saliba, you don't anticipate Arsenal to keep a clean sheet, you know. But if at all you believe that you want to keep a clean sheet, you have them on, nothing's really going to happen. You get? So that is the team of Arsenal for you, and they went ahead obviously put out a very beautiful show into that game of football. Then let's get into John Ochipo. Yes, bro. Already, thanks for the update. We are not joking this time around. We are looking forward. Arsenal is really a very good team. And for everyone who is like, they are not getting in signings, I tell you, the squad of Arsenal that Arteta had last season can win the league if at all they really kickstart off well. That is it. All the deficiencies that Arsenal saw into the end of the season were as a result of the orchestrations into the beginning of the season. I told you, if Arsenal wants to win the Premier League, they have to beat every team that is not Man City. They have to beat every team. And the worst teams like Man City should get is a draw. You get? But teams like Spurs, teams like Aston Villa, teams like Fulham shouldn't come at the Emirates and obviously walk away with a point. All those should be turned into 3 points, you know? And if Arsenal is going to play 19 games at the Emirates, they should only allow draws with teams that they are going to be competing for the trophy with. For example, you can talk about a team called Man City. If Arsenal draws with Man City at the Emirates, I think Arsenal fans will be excited. But with Arsenal beating Man City at the Emirates last season, they have to come in through and really go ahead and do the needful. But ask yourself, beating Man City and losing 7 points, losing to Aston Villa, drawing to Spurs, and drawing with Fulham, what do? You lose to Man City, and you collect the other points that you lost. And all those points that Arsenal lost were 7 in total. You get? Now, if Arsenal added 7 points, deduct 3 of beating Man City, Arsenal goes back to 86. You get? Now, if you really add 3 points to Man City, I think they go to 94. And when you add 7 points, Arsenal is tied with Man City, 94 is tied onto that 94 points. I don't know whether you've gone ahead to understand my mathematics, but I'm like, all what Arsenal needs is to really start on as they ended last season. Let them start on well, and the rest is going to be history. That is it. And even if they don't sign very many players right now, if at all there will be need for Arsenal to sign a player in the January transfer window will be open, so they'll have a lot of players to sign. Then, hey, Mr. Rokani, I'm Dennis Molly from Kenya. Are we going to sell Ramsdale? Obviously, Arsenal is going to be selling Ramsdale. Then Mubarak Nabongho. Let Arsenal sign a CDM instead of a striker. All right. Ronnie K. Arsenal is back. Nwaneri shines against that boy. Is going to be a problem. Nwaneri is good. Nwaneri is a very good player. I love him. You know, he's a joy to watch. He makes football look very easy to play. Yet it's really a hard game. Lewis Kelly again shows his class. 17s, we are proud. Yeah, he is going to show his class. And talking about Nwaneri and this guy known as Lewis Kelly, Arsenal have gone ahead to find themselves in a position of really understanding the danger in not really integrating the youngsters into the first team and denying them hope to play when there is chance. And that has gone ahead to result into one, Arteta giving him a lot of playing time. And I've always come in and really put in the stories in here. People are like, Rokani, no, Arsenal doesn't need those young stars. You get? They don't need those young stars. You know, all what Arsenal needs is simple. Arsenal needs to obviously find themselves finished products. But do you know how painful it is to lose a player like Chido Obi Martins? He goes to Manchester United and he becomes one of the next big stars in the world. Do you know how painful it is? You know? And he was ahead of all those Nwaneris because he was highly rated. The boy scored 32 goals and he's just 16, but he looks like an 18-year-old, very tall, 1.6 meters tall. That is the guy, and that's how tall he is, you know, at the age of 60, meaning that he's going to be a beast of a striker. And now, looks like the pathway to the first team from the academy has gone ahead to obviously be clean very well, and very many players of Arsenal are really going to be making their way into the first team of Arsenal. That is it. But Lewis Kelly at left back, he has really looked well into this preseason, and I believe he's really going to be getting more and more playing time, especially into the Carabao Cup. Denomoli, Rokani, Arsenal played a good game today. Dennis from Mbusiani, all right, thank you for watching. To Ronnie K, Saka ever creates magic. He looked good, and that's how I want to see Saka play, by the way. You know, I want to see Saka unselfish, you know, and really going in for the easy pass and not really trying to force himself through very many legs. Today he played very well. If Saka can really implement that play into the coming season, I tell you, he's gonna be a threat. Then, hello bro, evening, that is Ronnie K. Then Mubaraka says, is Timber is injured, and I'm really waiting for the update coming in from Mikel Arteta on how injured he is. Then Ronnie K, Jesus today looked sharp, very sharp. And I told you that what Jesus has to do is simple. Jesus has to keep himself fit, because he can get you those 20 goals you want in the Premier League. But the problem is, you can't score those goals if at all you are not. You can't score those goals if at all you are ever injured. You know, if he finds a solution to his huge injuries, then he will be one of those to watch into the mix, I tell you. That is the man known as Gabriel Jesus. But he looked sharp today, and I believe even on the weekend when they're playing against Lyon, he's really going to be looking more sharp into the mix. Hello Rokani, talk about Lewis Kelly performance. Come on to Peter, I talked about the boy looked good. He looked good, and he was really one of those to really impress. You know, there are some of the pickouts into that game that you have to come in through and really give a very good hail. I praise you, man in sports. You are so genius. Keep on. That is Chiwanuka Moses. Musika, we are on right course, all right? That Arsenal is in the right course. Enoch Tumwine, good evening, Rokan David. Thanks a lot for the updates. All right, thank you. Then Ronnie K, I'm still seeing Nwaneri running, and the kid is so talented. Nwaneri, for me, I just can't wait to see Nwaneri come into that team of Arsenal, by the way, because time has come. I don't know when Arteta is going to realize it, that it's high time to obviously get this boy into the team. But all I know is his time is now. Kaiwa Ian, Lewis Kelly and Nwaneri performance, top notch. Enoch Tumwine, how far in Timber's injury and why hasn't Carafiori played? Carafiori is getting into the team. That's why Arteta really never played him. And he saw to it that there was no danger to obviously crave for Carafiori. But Zinchenko really played very well, you know. Frimpong was not in the mood, and he never disturbed him a lot, you understand. But you anticipate that as time goes on, this guy will obviously find himself in a proper position to put in the best way possible. Then Kaiwa Ian Nwaneri is the next Martin Odegaard. Yeah. And I believe they're really going to be, a time is going to come, and these two will be playing together. Right? They will be playing together. I tell you. They will be playing together in that midfield of Arsenal. Nwaneri and Odegaard. Time will come when they're really playing together. Let's go to Kai Havertz, the man of the match. That is Richard Fenning. Sesei Sulaiman Aradirok. Arsenal need to keep using the youngsters. Yeah, they need to. Amatu Nwaneri is the next Odegaard. Then Sebandeke Patrick. Kai had 2 assists and a goal. Yeah, 2 assists and a goal. That was Kai Havertz for you. really looked great. What happened to Timber? Timber is injured. That is it. Timber is injured. Sesei says Jorginho is not happy after they take him off. Why? For any player, by the way, for me, I like that character. You know, if you have a player and you take him off and doesn't really feel bad, then the mentality is not okay. But Jorginho was really enjoying his game and felt like there was no reason for the manager to take me off. And that's why he felt like this was uncalled for him to take me off. It was really one of those moments that you have to keep me on to obviously keep going and running. That is it. I like it when a player goes ahead and really frowns his face when the manager takes him off. I like it that way. I love it. I love it. You know, I love it. Right. The other guy is known as George Williams. Rokani, what about Leroy Sen? Nothing concrete about Leroy Sen. You know, I'm still looking for a story linking Leroy Sen to the club of Arsenal. I haven't gone ahead to find it. But when I find it, I'm going to record it and really upload it onto this channel. Then we're having Naboth Muzahura. Welcome back, brother. All right. Musingo Jafari. Hey, RD, please talk about Carafiori. I'm watching live in Mbale. He's ready, but the manager just wants to unleash him when the time is right. That is it. That's what the manager of Arsenal wants to do. He wants to unleash him when the time is really, really, really right. Then, who else should we talk about? We are talking about this is Issa. Bruno Neri deserves shirt number 10 for Arsenal. Not yet. Not yet. I think shirt number 10 will go to Martin Odegaard. Issa. Bruno Neri. All right. Asimwe Aaron. What happened to Carafiori and Timber? Timber is injured, but Carafiori is okay. But the manager just wants to unleash him when the time is right. Sesai Sulaiman. Arsenal needs a Liam. Patton Jorginho are not good enough for any big games. I think Declan Rice can do the job, but all they need is that guy, Merino, coming in through. I think Merino will obviously do a very good job. Moses, thanks for the update, really, but what are sure signings you are sure of? Merino is going to be a player for Arsenal next season, that is it. Merino is going to be a player of Arsenal, that is it. Mariam Baviria, I'm just bored of the endless speculation over signings that never arrive. Merino is like we are signing a player worth £100 million, dragging too long on someone cheap like that. I went ahead and obviously put out my complaint on the video I did about Merino yesterday night that it is really very ashamed and very, really disgusting for the club of Arsenal to obviously find themselves in a position of really delaying to really get this deal done and dusted. You understand? And I'm like, how come a club of Arsenal cannot really get this deal over the line, yet Atletico Madrid went ahead to execute a deal of 95 million euros in a space of 24 hours. You get? And Arsenal is taking almost a month on Merino. You get? We all got to know how Arsenal is raising Merino towards the end of the Euros. You know, the Euros ended on 14th and today is 7th. And it's coming to a month since Arsenal last went ahead obviously show its interest in the player and they are not doing in the due diligence, right? So, I don't know what they are all up to. That is it. I don't know what exactly they're all up to, but it is really one of those things Arsenal should sort out immediately. But I know the deal will come to an end, and I'll be shocked if at all we really end this week when we've not gone ahead to obviously get a here we go linking or really getting Arsenal to where it deserves to be in as far as the deal of Merino is really concerned. Femi Benedict, already Arsenal problem was left back, but that problem has been fixed now. Yeah, Carafiori coming in through. That is a very huge fix for Arsenal, and it's one of those signings that I believe will win Arsenal a Premier League trophy as well desired. Then Farouk Bwenje, hey Rokani, what happened to Timber? Timber is injured. That is it. Most speak Patrick, Jesus, Trossard and Kai Havertz were on point, and that Ethan Nwaneri is the next Martin. Yeah, very good player. Very, very good player in Martin in Nwaneri, and I love the player. Chuzu, we need more signings. I tell you, guys, however much Arsenal needs signings, but that Arsenal side can compete and win a Premier League and a Champions League. I tell you, it can. You know, if all those players are really available, I tell you that Arsenal side can really compete hugely. It can compete hugely against any side. And the good thing is that Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to lose any player that they need. For Emily Smith-Rowe, he was surplus to requirement. You get? Even if Partey leaves, Arsenal will be really good because Arsenal played 3/4 of the season without Thomas Partey, right? And they're really on top of the table. You understand? You get? So Arsenal has to just really get in those players, and that's why they're taking their time. They're not fidgeting because they know they have a team that can come and compete exactly with any team in the Premier League. Then Emma Sikio, hey Rokani, well done, bro. We need Gyökeres to come to Arsenal. That's the only way Arsenal can take a trophy from City. Thanks, Sisikio from Kampala. Now, do you know that Arsenal is going to have to maintain its core of scoring goals, and Man City are going to have to lose a player who scored them 20 goals plus last season? That is Julian Alvarez. And they have to sign in a player, and they have to give him time to fit into that team of Chelsea, of Man City. And the decision of Julian Alvarez is going to come in at a very wrong time when even the preseason is coming to an end, and they're going to open up their season on Saturday with Manchester United. You get? But for Arsenal, they still have... But for Arsenal, I tell you this, they still have the core of their team integrated. You get? And that is a very huge plus for the club of Arsenal, And Man City might lose Kevin De Bruyne. And when you lose Kevin De Bruyne, you are losing you are losing close to... if you lose Kevin De Bruyne, right? You are losing close to 20 goals a season. So the team that you're talking about of Man City, he might lose in goals worth 40 or 50. But the good thing is that they're going to have to get in Savinho. And Savinho is really a very good player, and we all appreciate him in what he has going to have to do. So let's wait and see how things pan out for Savinho. But Man City is really a good side, but they're going to have to lose out on very many players, I tell you. They're going to have to lose out on very many players, and I don't really feel that they are the same level at Arsenal. You get? And Julian Alvarez is a very big loss. To show you that he's a very big loss, even the manager of Man City never wanted to lose Julian Alvarez. You get? And even if Arsenal is bringing a striker, you get? They are going to score goals. They are going to score goals. Kai Havertz will get you those 20 goals you want in the Premier League season from a striker, and will get them to you. You understand? That is Kai Havertz for you. And I don't believe in anyone who says that if at all Arsenal doesn't sign a striker, they won't win the league. Even if Arsenal signs a striker or doesn't, they are really one of the teams that are really favorites to win the league. You get? Casola, Rokani, I'm telling you, if Timber is injured, then the guy must go. It's just a waste of money. Maybe in Zambia. No, let's not say like that. It might be a precaution, right? It might be a precaution to say to it that a lot comes and really goes their way, right? So I don't want you to say he should leave. No, we don't know exactly what is wrong with him, and we're just waiting to see what Mikel Arteta has to say about his injury, and then we are going to be coming up here to obviously tell you what Arteta is going to have to say about the injury of Julian Timber. And I know they are going to really upload everything here onto the site of Arsenal, and I'll be very ready to obviously let you know why Timber is really injured. And when the facts are out, then we'll judge him. If he's going to be out for a very long period of time, then we'll judge him. But I never saw him into the protective boat when they're playing against the last game they played in US against Liverpool. He was really walking freely. And Arteta told us that he was out because they felt like he has been playing very many games and he needed to be rested. You understand? That's what Mikel Arteta went ahead obviously tell us. Mokosa said, irrespective of having scored goals, we still need a striker. How far with Gyökeres? Gyökeres has gone ahead obviously pause off, and Arsenal looks like is into what we call a Turkish player. There is a Turkish player that Arsenal really need to sign, and very soon we'll know whether it's really concrete or not. Right? We'll obviously get to know whether it's really concrete or not. That is it. So after that, let's see to Derek says, already I just appreciate, all right. Then Chiza Maximim says, my brother. My brother Aradi, all right? You said, my brother Aradi, welcome for everything. We pray for Merino to come because Pat and Jorginho are not good enough. I really disagree that they're not good enough. They are good, but I think for Jorginho, he will be here for the rest of the season. But for Partey, his fitness levels are really unreliable. You cannot rely onto him. Then Casola, today almost every player looks good and brilliant. Let's hope this spirit will. It will, because they now know that it's their time to win. Those Arsenal players know it now. It's their time to win. Mr. Aradi, a time for the next video. Obviously, after this live, I'm going to be recording a video. You know, in an hour's time, I'm dropping another video in here for you. And Amwine Aaron says, why can't we watch that football on DSTV? Because DSTV doesn't have the rights, obviously, broadcast that game. And you can only watch that game on the website of Arsenal. And you can as well become a member, and you can view those games of the preseason in total or in plenty. Then Kariango Paul, Arsenal has been too slow this transfer session because they have all what they want, and they believe that these players are not gonna be getting into the team, all integrated into the team immediately. They believe that they will get themselves into the best way possible by really doing the needful. And what needful will they be doing? They'll obviously be putting in the required shift possible. That is it. You know, the players they have can obviously start the job, you know, and these others will obviously get integrated into the team slowly by slowly. And then by the time these others drop off, these others would have gone ahead obviously integrate to the team, and the cohesion and fluidity will be really flowing into the right way possible. Then Margaret Gill, if we don't have enough money to buy a striker in midfield, at least midfield should be a must buy. Merino is coming in through. That is it. Alfred Simpasa Aradi, any report for Jokares? Simpasa Alfred from Kasumbalesa border, Zambia. I won't come and lie to you. No update about the deal of Jokares. If it arises, I'll obviously come up and obviously broadcast it live in here onto this channel. But Aradi, we really need a striker, all-Saka competitor. You know, sometimes talking about the Saka competitor is really very tricky. You know, when you see Mikel Arteta put Fabio Vieira into the role of Bukayo Saka, something has to be communicated into your brain that Mikel Arteta is really one of those players. Sorry, is really looking at Fabio Vieira as one of those players to play that side, and I think he's gonna really continue to try him. You get, unless otherwise, but I see Arsenal going in for other players. You get, but they are gonna do it at their pace. That is it. And if at all Arsenal really has a very good start of the season, I don't see that. I won't see them really getting in more players more than Merino. That is it. Unless they sell Edin Ketia. When they sell Edin Ketia, obviously they'll have to bring in another player. But you all know to it that the side of Marseille that needs Edin Ketia has gone ahead to come up and obviously start off what we call what is it called? They've gone in for Wahi. You know Wahi? He scored, I think, a brace against Arsenal, right? That is Wahi for you. You know, that is Wahi for you. So let's wait and see whether that deal of Nketiah really resurrects. When it resurrects, then even the deal of Arsenal getting in a striker will also come to pass. Where have I been? Muhammad Buayo Dominic watching from Mbale, thank you for the update. Innocent Leki Pakoto, is Timber fit? No, he's injured. Then we are having world amazing videos. Arsenal solid now, all right. Chuzu How bad is Timber's injury? I'm waiting for Mikel Arteta's update. Obviously, update here about it. Then Martin Elisha. Good evening, bro. Thanks for the update. Where is Kientien? Kientien is injured. He's injured. Him and Tomiyasu are really injured. Then says, hey, Sulaiman, RD, what about Reece Nelson's situation at Arsenal? Obviously, Reece Nelson came on, but they want to sell him. Leicester wants to obviously get him in what we call a loan with an obligation to buy, but it's not really maturing, right? But Arsenal are really trying to really move on the player. And there is Joseph Osilej. We need more 3 signings, all right? And Sulaiman says, as for me, I think Arsenal need 2 more signings, 1 CDM and a backup for Saka, all right? Thank you very much for all your input and what you're going to hit to say about this. And you're hugely, hugely appreciated into what you've going to hit to obviously do and really put up into the mix. Let's go to the player ratings. David Raya, 7 out of 10. Ben White, 7.5 out of 10. Zinchenko, 9 out of 10. Saliba, 8 out of 10. Then Gabriel Magalhaes, 8 out of 10. Then Jorginho, 8.5 out of 10. Odegaard, a little bit slow, 8 out of 10. Then Kai Havertz, 9.5 out of 10. We go to Fabio Vieira, 7.5 out of 10. Trossard, 9.5 out of 10. Then you have to obviously talk about Jesus with a 9 out of 10 for me. Then the substitutes, you have to talk about Nwaneri, 8.5 out of 10. Lewis Kelly, you give him 8 out of 10. Martinelli, 6.5 out of 10. Heaven in the center back, 7.5 out of 10. Saka, 8.5 out of 10. He looked really lively. Nketiah, 7 out of 10. Who else came on through? Some other youngsters came on, but those are my player ratings. But for me, genuinely speaking, my man of the match should be either Trossard or, let me put in a poll here, because I believe it's either Trossard or Havertz for me. Man of the match. Let me try to throw into this poll. Who else really looked good into that game? All right, let me add Jesus and see. But I believe now, in the remaining minutes before I really call it quits on this channel, please tell me your thoughts about the man of the match. Who was the man of the match? We are having just 3 minutes to vote. 3 minutes to vote. Vote and tell me who your man of the match was into that game of football, because I see Trossard looked good. Jesus looked good. Havertz looked good. Zinchenko looked good. So I'd love to really understand what you guys are all about, you know, and tell me your thoughts into the comment section below, right? Tell me your thoughts about what you've gonna hit, obviously, gang, and really settle onto into the mix. So tell me. Go into the live chat. Vote. And now I'll hugely come up here and obviously tell you what everything is really great into the mix. So we wait for you here. Continue to vote for who your man of the match was. Enoch is telling me Trossard. All right. I'm really enjoying the way you are voting. I'm enjoying the way you are voting, guys. But continue to obviously show us the love, right? Show us the love. Vote. Vote. How many minutes left? 2 minutes left. In 2 minutes time from now, I tell you, we are gonna be really closing the vote and ending it. For me, it's between Trossard and Kai Havertz. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but for me, it's in between those. But obviously, vote. Enoch Tumwine, Trossard was exceptional. Rob Hinn says Kai Havertz, man of the match. 2 assists and 1 goal. Kai Havertz. Those were his stats in the game of football. You know? John says Havertz. So, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this, guys. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this. You know? Let me obviously, by the for me, my man of the match is Kai Havertz, right? He's Kai Havertz. 2 goals and 1 assist. But Trossard also really put in a very huge effort into that game of football. So, you've also gonna have to give Jesus 18%, Trossard 31%, then Havertz 50%. So, you've also gonna have to agree with me that Kai Havertz was the man of the match. And non-massively, all you non-massively people have gone ahead obviously agree with me, and we've settled on one decision that Kai Havertz is the man of the match. Then Sam by Nomugisha, Trossard for me. Mary Rokani out of Carafiori, he was really just put out, as the manager believes he has to find himself in a better condition to suit into the system, and there is no reason to hurry him into that team of Arsenal. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Arsenal 4, Bayern Leverkusen 1. We've gone ahead obviously dissect everything. I'll return with the Julian Timber update, injury update, and secondly, I'll obviously come up with what Arteta's gonna have to come in through and really say as his reaction to Arsenal 4, Bayern Leverkusen 1. Arsenal ready for Lyon over the weekend. Henry Moses says Kai Havertz man of the match. I've also gone ahead to 0 down to Kai Havertz as the man of the match. But for me, in the player ratings, they all tied on 9.5 with Kai Havertz, right? But I give Kai Havertz. There is no way you obviously deny Kai Havertz the man of the match. 2 goals, 2 assists, and 1 goal. Kai Havertz. Even Magomo Moses has gone ahead to say Kai Havertz. So guys, let's sign out for now. See you later. But remember, we are powered by none other than Mono Gadgets. Who are Mono Gadgets? Mono Gadgets are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And if at all you want a used phone or a used laptop from UK, they can get you served. Now, you can as well call them on +256 70 99 88 665. They are dealers in phones and laptops. That is Mono Gadgets for you. If you're on TikTok, go to TikTok and really follow them up. Follow them up on TikTok, and they'll obviously show you the wide range of products that they really have in plenty as the side of Mono Gadgets. Now, says Rokani, update me about Yumaliz. No, he's a striker. He's a striker that has been linked to Arsenal, and I'm still collecting some concrete evidence about it. You get? I'm collecting some concrete evidence about it, and when I really gather it, well, I'll obviously come in here and obviously talk about it. Talk about Xhaka. Talking about Xhaka, Xhaka had a very bad display today. Very, very bad display, and it's not one of the things that you'd even really enjoy, because when he came in through as Granit Xhaka, and he was taken off the field of play, you all saw to it that he was really down, very down, to an extent that he never even clubbed the club for the fans of Arsenal. You understand? He was really down, and Xhaka was like, how can I be losing 4-0 in this stadium against Arsenal? You get? So, I think he was really very disturbed and perturbed on what was really happening, but that's the game of football. But his emotion shows you that he's really a very good player, and his mentality is right. Even if it's a friendly, no reason to laugh when your team loses. That's the spirit that I've gone ahead obviously love about him. Then Sulaiman Gi, for me, Trossard is the man of the match. All right, thank you for obviously giving it to Trossard. But we all understand that this is the 4th video of the day. Can you imagine? We started off late, but we've gone ahead to put in 4 videos, and more are really coming in through. There is a story of Zubimendi that I've gone ahead to put out onto the video section of this channel. You can as well go ahead and really watch it and really get to know what it's all about. The guy known as Zubimendi, which Premier League team is trying to obviously take him and really convince him to be that player for the club of for that Premier League club into the mix. So you can as well go ahead and really watch it. And I'm gonna hate to see some people in the live chat, in the video I really did of the match day live. People have been like, Rokani, why don't you come up and really tell us news about other clubs? Unless otherwise, you don't watch my videos to the fullest. But I always put in what we call a lot of, I got here to put in a lot of, what is it called? I got here to put in a lot of other stories in those videos that I do, and I report stories coming in from other teams. That is it. So if you really miss, if at all you think that I don't do stories of other teams, especially in the transfer window, then you need to really watch out yourself, you know, check yourself out, because for me, I really do this very, very often, and it's really evident, very, very, very evident. And everyone knows it very well that this is what we do here onto a daily. Musazi Joffrey, RD, I really appreciate your work, bro. I just can't wait the season to get on. The boys are on fire, but Arteta should trust these kids. Yeah, he has to trust these kids, because if he doesn't trust them, then even the future of other kids at Arsenal is really in the dark, as they'll obviously run their contracts down and really find themselves in a position of finding in teams that can get them into the starting 11. And there is, Iyas says, think Liverpool will win Zubimendi's signature. Yeah, they are in for him, and they are pushing hard to obviously get the player on their signature. That is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. We are out for now. See you later, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David is my name, and you guys are really great, and we love you guys. Thank you for obviously doing the needful, and continue to subscribe, because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers, right? And this love is really unending, and it is really hugely welcome. Thank you for reciprocating back positive energy like the one I do, and bring you the stories. I'm out for now. Bye bye. See you when you see me. And it's a 5 fingers up to everyone watching in through. So guys, bye bye for now. And I'm returning in an hour's time from now to obviously talk to you about Julian Timber and very many others. Bye bye. Ciao.